Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about All Systems Red by Martha Wells. This is book one of the Murderbot Diaries, and this is from Tor. It's a Tor science fiction book. I'm just going to read the back cover copy for our nutshell, and it says, in a corporate-dominated spacefaring future, planetary missions must be approved and supplied by the company. Exploratory teams are accompanied by company-supplied security androids for their own safety. But in a society where contracts are awarded to the lowest bidder, safety isn't always a primary concern. On a distant planet, a team of scientists are conducting surface tests, shadowed by their company-supplied droid, a self-aware sec unit that has hacked its own governor module and refers to itself, though never out loud, as Murderbot. Scornful of humans, all it really wants is to be left alone long enough to figure out who it is. But when a neighboring mission goes dark, it's up to the scientists and their Murderbot to get to the truth. So there's your nutshell. And for the too long didn't watch people, I gave this 5 out of 5. I really loved this book. Really liked it. Loved it. That's all you need to know. So that's the end of the video. No. So All Systems Red, Martha Wells, The Murderbot Diaries. A friend of mine, this is one of their favorite books, and they're always telling me that I should read it. And so I had gift cards from my birthday, Amazon gift card, and decided this was one of the things that I was going to order. And I knew as soon as it came in, I was going to finish up whatever I was reading. This was going to be the very next thing that I was going to read, and I'm so glad I did. The story is told by the Murderbot, and the Murderbot is sarcastic, is apathetic. He has, as it says, he has hacked his own governor module, so he doesn't have to follow orders, but he does because he doesn't want anyone to know that he's hacked his governor module. And what he really wants to do, this says he really wants to be left alone long enough to figure out who he is, or it is. But what it really wants is to watch TV. It hacked its module and then downloaded thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of TV. And there's a soap opera, I think. It sounds like, he keeps talking about one specific title that feels like a soap opera. And he just wants to, or it just wants to get back to watching that soap opera. But it has to do its job so no one figures out that it hacked itself. And then, yes, the neighboring mission, they lose contact with the neighboring mission, and this sort of sets off our main story. And the Murderbot and the human crew are trying to figure out what's going on, and things start to compound. And but again, this is all told from the Murderbot's perspective, so there's just this this very fun narrative voice. The writing is so good, and it's just a little novella. And I guess since I've already said I gave this 5 out of 5, I suppose I can share that I already ordered the next 2 books. There's 7 books in the series, I believe, and I've already ordered number 2 and 3. It's that good. I want to read all of these. Very tempted, since I think most of them are pretty small. It's tempting to just tear through all of it. Interesting world building. Has a Weyland-Yutani, for you alien fans out there, a Weyland-Yutani feel, because it's company driven, and it talks about, a lot of this on the back cover copy, the fact that these contracts are going to the lowest bidder, and the company is giving them the cheapest things that they can get away with giving to these exploratory missions, and even the sec units, whether or not they've hacked their own governor, even the sec units aren't necessarily up to the best quality sec units. So I like that aspect of it. This whole sort of corporate running of everything, essentially. I mean, I don't like that in the real world, but I like it as a story point, and it did very much give me Wayland Yutani kind of feelings. So, tiny book, not much more to say about it. Incredibly well written. The Murderbot is such a great character and a great narrative voice. There's a mystery that we're going to get set in this sci-fi world on this far off distant planet, and I think it all comes together. The only negative that I could say, or the only thing that I could possibly say as a negative, is that the ending seemed a little rushed. But then I was thinking about the fact that this is all told from the Murderbot's perspective. So it's not like the narrator, the Murderbot, could tell us things that it was not aware of. What we're getting, this, to me, what felt a little bit rushed, is what the Murderbot was there for, what the Murderbot went through, however I should put it. So I realized that I can't really complain about that, because it's not an omniscient narrator that can go through all sorts of things and say this and this and this and this and this and this and this. We've just got to take it from Murderbot's perspective. So there you have it. All Systems Red, Martha Wells, book 1 in the Murderbot Diaries, 5 out of 5 stars. So excited to read the rest of this series. Hopefully it all holds up. And I can't recommend it enough. Recommendations, though, based on this, I would say Tin Men, I believe is the name of it. Tin Men by Christopher Golden, which is another scientific or science fiction robot, human cyborg kind of thing. And you know what? I'm going to grab my phone and look up a book, because I can't remember the name of it. So I'm going to see. You get to watch me do this. And unfortunately, let's try this. What is the quickest way to find out? It's a book by Dan Abnett, and I was going to put Dan Abnett science fiction, but he's written so many Warhammer books that I was afraid that was going to overshadow what I'm looking for. So I'm just sort of looking in this. That's comic book stuff. He's done tons of comic book stuff too. 2000 AD. No. Maybe this isn't going to tell me anything. Okay, let's find his... Alright, original fiction. Embedded. That's it. Embedded, a near-future war story with a journalist protagonist. And the journalist... It has something to do with downloading the journalist into a soldier. And then I think the soldier dies, so the soldier's consciousness is gone, and just the journalist's consciousness is in this soldier's body in the middle of a war. Something like that. It's been a while since I read it. But Embedded by Dan Abnett would be my other recommendation. That Tin Men by Christopher Golden. So if you like this, maybe give those a try. They're not exactly the same, but they fall within the same general area of science fiction. So there you have it. No question. I just did some recommendations. So if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, I will have links for my Instagram and Bluesky in the description below. And that's all I've got. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I've been Eric Smith. And until next time, read more books.